For the feature this month of Voices in Power, a poetry open mic experience, Being Ugly Steven. Can we make some noise, y'all?
Raise your glasses. Here's to the American dream. One side of a two-sided story. Your family fortune is more than likely my family's, unfortunately. And I'm not speaking metaphorically when I say this system was designed to torture me and all those who look like me. I am the real story behind a country who isn't willing to write me. Only fight me and cite me as a source for my own circumstances. We're checking black on applications will only hurt the chances of giving you or your family the slightest of an advantage, dismantling the example that was so falsely set before us. Welcome to the American dream. On this side of town, we call it the American scheme. The game you play, but you only get home court advantage if you play for the American team. They'll tell you this is what America means. You marry your dreams in terms of loyalty, longevity. You retire when you're 70. You die with the fear that you never left a legacy. See, the road has been paved for you. But in a place with historical hate for you, where all they did was take from you, could you imagine trying to make an honest living while living in a place that ain't that honest? They like their morals contradictory and their legislation to be ironic. Like convictions off chronic, but my cousin was just coping. But they got stocks in marijuana and none of their bonds got broken. You can't use your inside voice if you claim to be outspoken. I was just hoping for some guidance, something pivotal we could use to lead the people. In a time of racial evils and civil war sequels, we need direction, a perception that makes us all equal and personal egos see through. We see to it that we are seen valuable to the population around us. But instead, they redlined us. Gentrified us as a tactic that was only meant to drown us. Surround us in needs and soak us in our own lacks of opportunity. So just to survive, we start scratching up the black in the fabrics of our communities. It's kings killing kings. Black on black crime, that's a one-sided label. Politicians pushing agendas, that's one-sided cable. Tell the stories of the more rich and not this one-sided fable that says we are not the bloods and the backs in which this country was built upon. So my melanin is the ottoman your success can hang its guilt upon. They built prisons on the same land they orchestrated them fields upon, and don't gotta treat me as a man, cause by law I'm 3/5 of one, so excuse me if I'm jaded. For falling victim to guard towers and barbed wire, because I was caught in the crossfire of a country at war with its own insecurities, and the impurities lie in the crevices of their agenda. Gentrify us so they can easily identify us, and then genocide us until America is the whitest it possibly can be, and that it seems, ladies and gentlemen, is the American dream. Voices in power, how we feeling tonight, y'all? You're gonna notice as this set goes on that my voice gets more and more raspy. Just staying there with me. My name is Steven. I go by Ugly Steven on Instagram. If you like what you hear, follow me. If you don't like what you hear, don't follow me. It's that simple. I'm low maintenance. Yeah, let's get into some poems. I forgot my set list. Okay. Copy. Got it. All right, we'll start here. We'll start foundational. So I went to Rowan University. During my time there, is that a Rowan person? Indeed. Well, yeah, we'll chat. So I went to Rowan for undergrad. During my time there, I met a very special person. He was my roommate. Long story short, freshman year, everyone was tight. It was 4 of us. We were all super tight. We were all roommates. Sophomore year came. We were also very tight. But then what happened was my roommate, the one who was in my suite, he started to kind of like act a little different. And we didn't know why. Like he would stop going out with us. He would stop eating with us. He would stop doing other things with us. And basically, he slowly became someone who we did not recognize, to say the least. After talking to him, he then explained to us that he did not want to be in college. And at the time, it was like, none of us do, but like we're here and we're doing what we do every day, so like who cares? But it was a little more serious to him. He had explained to us that his parents had put him in college. So what happened was they did his college application, they did his essay, his personal statement, like they physically put him in college. He didn't want to be there. And it was starting to weigh on him, right? It was starting to weigh on him. Long story short, we had this talk prior to the winter break. We went home from winter break, he went back to his family, and then he did not show up for the spring semester. So during that break, he didn't come back. He had erased all of our numbers out of his phone. He had blocked us, because the message went green. And I'm sure it was all an attempt to find himself, right? To just kind of clean slate himself. But I wrote this poem in perspective of him talking to his parents for the first time and telling them how he felt, because I imagine that eventually, because he did not come back, he told them. So this is what I wrote. You'll notice as poets, sometimes we gotta take a step back to gather ourselves. I'm gonna do that real quick. Mom, do you have a minute? No, I'm sorry. I know it's really late. But I got some things I gotta tell you, and it honestly can't wait. I got some weight on my chest. A lot on my plate I can't digest, and I guess what I'm trying to say is, Mom, I haven't left my dorm room in 9 days. Daddy in my ear pushing me past his borders to become a businessman, but I can barely bear to break a B- in basic algebra. In other words, Mom, I'm lost. Time is money, and tuition is what it costs, and I know, and I barely call, but I must have misplaced my voice. I might have swallowed it with the liquor of things I never said, or maybe it's buried in a pile of skeletons that are under my bed. And not that I don't trust your better judgment, but I'm a business management major. I don't want to own my own business. The only thing I want to own again is my happiness. I pawned it for a bachelor's. Told you this is what I wanted and hid the tears under my laughter. And when I cried, you never listened. And that created some distance. And I know that no, Mom, please just let me finish. I sit in the back of the classroom. No different from high school, where they don't teach you to work hard. Hardly working on homework, hoping to have a promising grade, let alone graduate. And you guys are so six-figure infatuated that you think I'm exaggerating when I say if a lonely boy cries in his dorm room for 7 hours straight and no one's around to hear him, does he make a sound? The answer is no. He'll come home from Christmas break, tell you school is going fine, with the trauma of depression, but without showing the signs. Let's do the math. We pay $6,000 for tuition, another $5,000 for the housing. FAFSA gives me $4,000, but that's still $7,000. $3,000 for campus fees, which they probably get professors. Multiply all that by 2 because that was only 1 semester. But this is the American dream, right? Go to college, check, gain the knowledge, check, try and get the job that they don't even promise, check. The bursar says your son doesn't have enough credits. He changed his major and lost credits, but he can stay until he figures it out. We accept debit or credit. And quite frankly, Mom, biology taught me that you and I have nothing in common but our DNA. Math taught me that my worth is determined by the numbers on my GPA. History taught me that my future looks way better from behind. And English taught me that I couldn't rewrite my future because society already has me defined. But what would you do to make a loved one happy? Would you live 4 years in denial, sacrificing your smile because you know you haven't made your father proud in a while? With every step in my 5-7 figure, I take 5 steps forward to take 7 steps back. Now, Dad, you're 57 now. By the time you're 75, you want me to retire you and put you in an Audi S5. That's 18 years to make in between 5 and 7 figures as a salary. When in 5 to 7 years, I'll graduate 750th in my class, working at IHOP 5 to 7 days a week, $750 an hour, and still coming home 5 hours after 7 p.m. to pay back $75,000 in school loans. Dad, I'm in a $100,000 safety net. And even if you wanted to pay the debt, you're banking my future on money that I haven't even made yet. Mom, I know you think you did this for me, but as much as I hate to say it, this college thing just isn't for me. Thank you. How many more I got, Louis? One or two? How many more I got? One or two? Two? All right, cool. You are the flowers to my garden. You are the flowers to my garden. I often confuse sunlight for your smile and fantasize about our offspring. You show me what life means. You show me what fight means. Pull back the shades on my introvert. You show me what light means. You laugh at the right times. Forgiving me for transgressions and treat past times like past times. Conversations over spilled milk we never put in our coffee. You're the cartoon after a scary movie I'm afraid might haunt me. You're a sight for sore eyes. A sandy beach to my sunrise, and sometimes I know it gets cloudy and storms get rowdy, but I'll be the shelter to your storm during gray skies if you allow me. You know everything that's everything that there is to know about me. I couldn't hide if I wanted to, and I never wanted to. You want a family, I want a family. If you want it, I want it too. You wanted to give me one baby girl. I said, screw it, I wanted two. I wanted everything you wanted because I meant it when I said I wanted you. No Indian giving promises. No receipts on secrets. I let my guard down. You 5-on-4. My defense, no false pretenses. Volleyball serve expectations. You're the candle light to my meditation. Don't Kemba Walker my commitment. I won't step back for separation because in times of desperation, you're my safe haven. Sanctuary in my chapel. The ode to my Grecian urn, you John Keats in my chapter. I never chastise nor baptize the squeaks in your laughter. I'm a sucker for that smile. Succumb to your every request. And to that beating diamond in your chest, I'm forever grateful. No way I could ballpark my gratitude. I'm just thankful to God we crossed paths and made new avenues. I wrote that poem for my fiance who's in the back right there, you can see. All right. Thank you. All right, it's my last one, I promise. So I'm an adjunct professor at Rowan University. I always got to start with that because just coming out would be, I got to start with that. I teach first year writing to freshmen, so that annoying writing class you have to take in the beginning of your college life, I teach that class. And I studied this subject during my grad program and while I was teaching, this idea that standard American English as we know it and as we teach it in the classrooms is in fact racist and marginalizing. So to tell students that they need to speak a certain way and their sentences need to end a certain way and they need to pronounce things certain ways is it's from European descent, right? These standard American English rules are this box that we're trying to fit a lot of different people into. And language is identity, right? So if you rob someone of their language, you are in fact stripping them of their identity. Just another way the system works in education and in a lot of things. But long story short, I wrote this poem after being inspired, after studying it for some years. This came out. It's not emotional. It's long and it's long-winded, so I just had to, yeah. My first semester teaching college composition at a university. The students wait outside the classroom for the arrival of the teacher they have yet to meet. Probably, they assume their teacher to be a woman or white or so far disconnected from their culture that she uses her authority as her only line of defense, treats her classroom as her fortress. Her students, indentured servants, probably assigns homework as often as her heart beats, probably feels like the tallest person in an empty room and uses her language of proper standardized English as the anchor to her ship and convinces her students to try breathing underwater. She probably wants a variety of sentence structure, subject-verb agreement, asks her students to stay away from double negatives, tells them that contractions are always inappropriate, searches for punctuation mistakes, the way police search for contraband, approaches her student's paper with her weapon already drawn, ready to chalk outline their creative voice and make them the coroner, telling them to revise their own paper, which is to say, clean your own crime scene, criminal. Welcome to what is called the introductory course to college-level writing, where our mission is to teach you how to properly articulate yourself in academic setting, to build upon your already obtained knowledge of how to write and communicate the language. Note, we are not saying the way you speak is wrong. We are just saying we are going to clean it up for you. Shave off the loose slang. Turn the volume down on the voice in your writing. We wouldn't want your individuality getting stronger than we could put a lid on. Don't forget, this is where your public high school dropped off your language to be corrected, like some sort of boot camp. Watch as we deflate the extension of your words. Watch us do to you with language what police do with handcuffs. Watch us rinse the North Philly out of your mouth, scrape the indigenous off of your tongue, Clorox bleach stain your voice, trim a little off the side so it can fit into an MLA double-spaced wedding dress. Watch as white supremacy and standard American English form holy matrimony. See, language is power. For years, it has been designated by socioeconomic class. Owners will always speak differently from slaves. Indigenous and brown people took the limited words they were given in their life and used their creativity to curve and crack the standard English language, bending the endings of words like street corners on roads we were not educated to drive on. Our language became our livelihood. Our language became our only way of communicating, and in time became our only way of being. So we took the stick and stone education they did not give us and made a garden out of it. So when my students ask me, Professor, can I say the word ain't in my essay? I remind them that they do not need permission to write the way they speak. I remind them that writing is communicating, and how you communicate is not a true-false multiple choice question. It is not my job to take your native tongue and make a body bag out of it. Speak to me the best way you know how, and we will create a garden where creativity meets reality, with two different dialects, dance with one another in rhythm to the sound of translation. Professor, how do I do that in my essay? My response: I want you to take your vernacular and lay it across a page like a patient in a hospital bed. And as student to teacher, it is our job to create a conversation that will act as a defibrillator, that will give these ideas a new beating pulse that show vital signs of healthy communication. There will be no casualties in this classroom. The first thing we say as instructors of writing is that we want you to use your voice. But as soon as they build the trust to give it to us, we shower and dress it in APA wardrobe, which is to say, students, you can sing the song, but we will write the lyrics. Writing is communicating, delivering a message. So the second that message becomes understood, there becomes a spark, but translations open the floodgates to communication, which writing is a form of. So, in layman's terms, if the education system is a war and your only weapon was your language, who am I to tell you that your only weapon of defending yourself is not allowed on this battlefield? I know doctors who can perform brain surgery on Monday and on Friday can translate bad and bougie into a dissertation. Kendrick Lamar can do things with words that hitmen do with bullets. Lil Wayne created the word bling, which is now in the dictionary, so who is to say he cannot be considered Shakespeare? This is for the students battling to keep their dialects alive in a place designed to kill it. This is for the students who lost their identities at the mercy of a textbook. Language is ever evolving, a melting pot of idea and expression and understanding. So when my students ask me, Professor, can I say the word ain't in my essay? I simply say, yes. Voices in power, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Listen, wait till you're done clapping. If you like what you hear, follow me on Instagram. It's Ugly Steven, Steven with a PH, not a V. Just Ugly Steven straight through. That's my Instagram. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.